here we are in the Philippines, home of 105 million people, 1/4 of which live below the poverty line. I'm here hanging out with my girl Mary, who watches over the super hip neighborhood of Poblacion, where hipsters, hookers, and couture roll side by side with extreme poverty. Someone else who's watching over the people is President Rodrigo Duterte, who, as some of you may know, is waging a radical war on drugs here. Frankly, we found it really hard to get anyone to talk on camera because everyone is scared. People are being shot down in cold blood on the streets without a trial simply because of suspicion of being involved in drugs in some way. We managed to find some locals who were willing to talk about it though.
A vote for Duterte is a vote for the non-establishment, a form of populism, which we've seen with the Brexit votes and with Trump coming into power in the United States. We find a similar parallel with that in terms of how Duterte has become president in the Philippines. He ran on a platform of anti-poverty and anti-drugs. He thinks that there's a strong correlation between drug use and poverty.
So from what I gather, the problem for Duterte is that he believes there's a bunch of rich people making a shitload of money selling something of the street name shabu to the poor. And you know I'm not talking about Japanese hot pot. Shabu contains methamphetamine and caffeine, and according to Google results, is even more profitable than heroin. The Philippines is just one Asian country gripped in a shabu epidemic, partly because it allows the poorest of Filipino workers to clock in even longer hours. This is what Duterte is supposedly really fighting against. And a blanket anti-drug stance is a much easier narrative to package up and sell to a church-going third world population such as the Philippines. It's Sunday, it's hot, and from Monday to Saturday, most of these guys are working or studying. But today, it's their free day, and they're playing basketball. How do you feel about the bad stuff that's happening in the Philippines around the government? Are you scared? Does it affect you?
Actually, I'm not affected because I did not take that.
Even though people rationally know that this is a crazy way to try and fix things, the fact of the matter is the Filipino population has been downtrodden with these social problems for such a long time that they're actually pretty happy that someone in power is doing something about it, to the point where they're willing to overlook the methods in favor of what they perceive of as positive change.
There are some things that you just can't live with on like a 24/7 basis. That's why we're able to have drinks here and like actually still feel normal.
Let's take a closer look at Rodrigo Duterte. Those who know him might call him Rody, whilst his other nicknames include the Punisher and Dirty Harry of Davao, Davao being the city he was formerly mayor of. So Duterte is of a darker colored skin, he doesn't come from a political family dynasty, and he's a man of the streets. If the Punisher is who people voted for, then the Punisher is who he seems determined to be, regardless of how many enemies he makes, locally, regionally, or globally.
I've always believed that you can't always get mad at the system. You learn to kind of just create your own system with that system.
There are small pockets now who do it at home. So they pre-party or they post-party at home with this very, very close group of friends that they know they can trust.
Yeah.
Of any drug you can think of. But everyone's paranoid, let me tell you. He is the first president that Filipinos feel is truly fighting for them. And people think that this is just an unfortunate side effect to what it takes to have a rule of law.
To have real change.
To have a real change.
Only time will tell whether Duterte's methods are effective or not. But in the meantime, if you want to get high, you better pray to God you don't get caught.